Good afternoon. I'm Michele Washington, and today I will be speaking to you about the power of the Afro. In the mid-1960s, the Black Power movement dropped a bomb called the Afro. It was defiant, reactionary, and provocative. Its reverberation was felt globally. Within the Black community, it was both hailed and denounced for its political rawness and its rejection of Eurocentric beauty. Cultural revolutionaries spoke of it as being the potent beauty of my own natural hair. Growing up on the cusp of the early 1970s, the cultural iconography of the Afro seriously rocked my 10-year-old world. Ever since the Afro, or natural hairstyle, inserted itself into the consciousness of Black America, it has continuously reinvented itself in very creative ways. But the problem I see is how over time, advertisers have commodified this hairstyle to denote what's hip in Black popular culture, ultimately monetizing concepts of race. The former Black Panther Party member Kathleen Cleaver suggested the radical shift from straight-pressed hair to the natural hairstyle was the consequences of Black female students, activists called freedom riders' lack of access to Black hair salons while traveling in places like Mississippi. And here's Kathleen Cleaver talking about the Afro.
This brother here, myself, all of us were born with our hair like this, and we just wear it like this because it's natural, because the reason for it, you might say, is like a new awareness among Black people that their own natural appearance, physical appearance is beautiful and it's pleasing to them. For so many, many years, we were told that only white people were beautiful. Only straight hair, light eyes, light skin was beautiful, and so Black women would try everything they could, straighten their hair, lighten their skin, to look as much like white women. This has changed because Black people are aware, and white people are aware of it too, because white people now want natural wigs. They want wigs like this. Dig it? Isn't it beautiful? All right.
Thank you. The halo of the 1960s Afro is not a coincidence. It's a designed hairstyle that is fashioned to support the way coarse hair naturally grows, almost in defiance of gravity. The beauty of Black hair lies in its versatility and the myriad of possible Black hair shapes, and even likens African hair to a fiber, one that can easily be coiffed by hand into a style. It's often implied that a big Afro represented an individual's Blackness or level of political commitment. The newly legitimatized Afro took root along with other signifiers like the raised clenched fist and slogans like Black Power and Black is Beautiful, transforming advertisements and editorial pages of more popular Black lifestyle magazines like Ebony, Jet, Sepia, and The Urbanite and Essence. Some of the commercial success can be attributed to Vince Colors of the Vince Colors advertisement, who coined the term soul marketing. He actively sought to speak to Black consumers. His major campaign design for Afro Sheen incorporated Afrocentric symbols and African languages, with copy in both Swahili and English that read, "A beautiful new product for a beautiful new people." Afro Sheen eventually became the exclusive sponsor of the nationally syndicated TV show Soul Train, dubbed the hippest strip in America. The TV show featured young Black people wearing the latest fashions, big afros, and dancing to chart-topping, funky soul music. And here's a little clip of Afro Sheen commercial.
Haven't you forgotten something? Say your word.
Hey, aren't you Frederick Douglass? Yeah, we studied about you in school yesterday, about how you were a slave and how you took your own freedom, and then began to fight for freedom and dignity for all our people. Say, but what did I forget?
Are you going to go out into the world with your hair looking like that?
Well, Mr. Douglas, you know, times have changed. We wear the natural now.
You call that a natural? That's a mess. I've been watching the progress of our people, and I'm quite familiar with the natural. And I'm also aware that it is worn as an outward expression of pride and dignity. So haven't you forgotten?
Right. My Afro sheet comb is the hairspray for sheen. I can dig this getting my throw together.
Thank you. Up through the 90s into the 21st century, the Afro retains its power as a reconstructed, free-flowing hairstyle. Increasingly, however, less as a sign of blackness and more of a sign of inherent hipness. This hipness is readily seen in the early billboards used by Apple to introduce the iPod. The ads featuring the silhouette of an androgynous person sporting a big afro in front of a bright, multicolored ethnic tie-dye background captured the minds of the hip-hop generation and its graphic gestures towards Africanness. Now this poster is famous by the Black Panther Party leader Huey P. Newton, and it's still popular today. I'm sure some of you decorated the walls of either your college dorm rooms or your first apartments with this poster. In 1966, Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seale, two college buddies who attended Merritt College in Oakland, formed the Black Panther Party for self-defense in response to rapid racism and police brutality in the Bay Area. Newton's image is loaded with signifiers that not only imply Black power, but also suggest the global imperial struggle of African nations. In this iconic Newton poster, the viewer is directed to consider Huey P. Newton as royalty. He is dressed in his signature Black Panther uniform, a black leather jacket, a beret, and slacks. The wicker chair represents an African king's throne. The African shields and other icons placed against the wall on both sides of the chair signifies Newton's position as a warrior. In contrast to Newton's striking photograph, this 2003 Rockaware ad appropriates the political truth, was featured on the back cover of Trace magazine. But does this ad represent the power of the Afro? I contend it's just an attempt to romanticize a pose made famous by Newton, and by featuring supermodel Naomi Campbell, who appropriates the memory of the Black power and revolutionary figures to sell a faux fur collared coat. As you can see, the Rockaware ad is devoid of the iconic objects represented in Newton's photo. But this ad does want you to believe the clothes have a relationship to the Black Power movement, yet it depends upon Campbell wearing a big Afro wig and the unfortunate position of her clenched fist, which pointed at the viewer. The designer M-Key creates the funky branded style of neo-soul singer Erykah Badu, an image based on her signature outrageous natural hairstyle and equally idiosyncratic music lyrics. Maurice Wood's Afro-inspired poster for the 2000 exhibition titled, quote, "Word, my definition is this," end quote, indicates the entrenched position the hairstyle has in modern society as a stand-in for Black. His use of it transposed with the American flag and historical labels for Blackness create a commentary upon the ambivalence of the African American experience. Ultimately, much like news media, magazines, and advertisements during the 60s and the 70s fueled the visualization of the Afro, now social media, blogs, and websites are taking up the mantle, creating a retro manifesto of the new Black narrative online in a global style sphere. I would like to leave you with this unexplored terrain. Currently, over 500,000 blogs exist just on the Afro, aka natural. And on Sunday nights, I join in with numerous bloggers tweeting just on natural hair. It beats watching Desperate Housewives. Peace and soul. Thank you.
these people settle. We get to take a drink of water, which we haven't done yet for these beautiful glasses.
They are beautiful. They're designed, right?
They are.
They're good
The bottle is
design
designed.
objects.
What about this? I don't know. I guess that's design. Okay. The overriding question. Was it inevitable that the Afro was commodified? And if it was, can you describe that process?
I think it was inevitable because you couldn't market.
Sorry, Michele, I'm interrupting you. Yeah,
Oh,
thanks.
okay. You couldn't market the political aspect of the Afro, but you could market it to sell hair care products. So the hair care products that existed before the Afro was introduced into our culture were basically for straight hair. And they started dying off, as well as the services in black hair salons. So the 10 big manufacturers of black hair care products realized that they needed to create products just for the Afro. And so that's how you got the whole thing with Afro Sheen, Duke, and there's a whole slew of other products.
So when did that happen? Is that mid-60s?
That happened in the late 60s, early 70s, because there was a big slump in business. So it's fair for me to say that the Afro really spawned a multi-million-dollar hair care business.
Oh, wow. So is it fair to say that the natural, quote, the natural, was as designed as straight hair before it?
Yes. Yeah, you couldn't, you had to style your hair. You know, if you go back and look at any of the Soul Train clips when they first came out, you did not walk out with your hair looking bad like in that commercial. So your hair had to be evenly shaped all around, male or female. People would remind you that you looked bad, so.
Like Frederick Douglass when he wanders into your bedroom.
Yes.
By the way, it sounded like a Jewish mother, by the way.
Yes.
You go out with your hair like that?
Yes. I was getting ready to say it'd be your mother saying to you, you're going out with your hair looking like that. Yes.
Yeah, that's the Jafro, right?
Yes. We talked about that in class.
Again, I don't know where to go from after that. Yeah, I'm stumped. Oh, I know what I was going to ask. The Naomi Campbell ad was kind of, I mean, there's a lot to, I mean, can you talk a bit more about that? I mean, it's incredibly loaded. And I mean, there's a lot going on in terms of what you're saying to begin with. I mean, the separation between style and politics is right there.
It part of that picks up off of women from the 60s, because in the poster you see Newton sitting in that big chair, which was really used for the Free Huey. It was a Free Huey legal defense. Oh, the Free Huey Legal Defense Fund. So that's part of what the poster was used for. But if you compare the 60s to now, women have more power. Although you would have had someone like Kathleen Cleaver, Angela Davis, Elaine Brown, and a whole slew of other women who really spoke out vehemently about black power. I mean, today it's a little bit more somber. And I think Naomi Campbell's face is so recognizable that you can use her, but she really has no connection to the culture. I mean, she was born in 1970, so in London, so she would know nothing about the black power struggle in America.
Yeah, I guess the final thought is in the Newton photograph, there are all those attendant symbols. There's the carpet and the kind of African masks,
Yeah.
and all that is not in the ad. So,
No.
yeah.
I think it's feminized, the ad. It's really toned down. And I could even say that probably the market that it's geared towards probably has no connection to the Black Panthers or even that poster, and would likely not even know that all those iconic objects were part of it.
Well, thank you for making us aware of that, and it's such a great, powerful, and resonant subject. Thanks.
Thank you.